sports. Doesn't seem like we're going to have college sports. And it sure seems like as we go forward here, with all the COVID cases, that we're not going to have school. But I do wonder, and Tom and I and Heather were talking about this, we want to hear from teachers. We want to hear from parents. We want to hear from, really, if you don't have kids, we want to hear from you anyhow. Is there any way this works? Is there any way this school thing works in the fall? Because the longer it goes, the more skeptical everybody gets. And me, for one, my kid's not old enough to go to school yet. But I'll just be honest, when we sent her back to daycare, she goes 3 days a week. There's no COVID cases. That's not saying there can't be. I understand there's a risk there. But I also saw her over the last, I want to say, couple months. And I'm pretty sure that she needs some form of social development. You know, I think her attention span isn't what it used to be. I truly think she benefits being in the company of the other kids and teachers that do this for a living. So the wife and I made the decision, we're going to send her back for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And some people hear that and think, you're insane. But it's the same thing with schools. Like, I think schools are super important. I think kids need the schools. But you also can't ignore what's going on in front of you.
Okay, so first, Atlanta, Los Angeles, San Diego are keeping schools closed to start the school year. They're going to do it all online. And then Nashville is doing it through Labor Day, at least. Now, those southern states, they start usually early August. So the first 4 weeks or so are going to be online. I totally think they should be back in school. And I think it's, a no-brainer. Having 3 kids that are 10 and under and going through what we did March through June with trying to homeschool, and I think we did as best of a job as we could. Kudos to my wife for doing that, most of that. It's just not the same. And I think we have to push forward, and there are risks. You have to take risks in life. You have to take calculated risks. Kids really aren't getting sick from this. I do worry about teachers. I think they should be masked. I think kids should wear masks. I believe basically a classroom should be 4 desks together, like facing each other basically, and you put some sort of partition in between it, like the plexiglass, to where it blocks them from coughing and going out. They can take the mask off at the desk. Anytime they get up, they wear the mask. And is this a perfect plan? No, but I just cannot. This has to resume. It does, and it's frustrating. It's not even close to being at the same when they're at home.
And I agree with you. I do. Not to mention, there's issues, right? Not everybody that's at home has access to computers. Not everybody that's at home has access to internet. So when you say, okay, well, we're going to do everything online, you got to make sure that every kid has the ability to do everything online. And you are right about that, too. I mean, the education, I don't believe, is as good because you have parents like myself that might be working, like you that might be working. The discipline might be worse. So I agree with you. You got to find a way to get the kids to school. The problem is, and Heather just read about it, the house party that happened, that obviously had COVID cases from it, the night at Harvard's, the night on Torch Lake. So this will happen every day at school, and it's not even so much about the kids, it's obviously about the kids bringing it home to the parents, to the grandparents, whatever the case is. So while I agree with you totally need it. There's also the other side that, is it safe? So I want to hear from the parents. I want to hear from the teachers. 248-539-9797. The other thing, too, is if you're a teacher, are you going back? Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, I want to hear from people, too, that if they have kids and they've already made a decision not to send them. I mean, I totally respect that.
Look, Hatchet's about to have, I heard him on Milk Show yesterday, they're about to have their 3rd child. And he said, I don't know if the decision is made yet, but he said he's not sure he's going to send his kids back to school because of the health risks to a pregnant woman. And I totally understand that. So I wonder what the parents think. Obviously, people have different levels of concern. So you sound like you're sending your kids back if the situation allows you to.
And I believe people should have choice. I, without a doubt, believe that every school district should still provide the online thing. Maybe they should look into Zooming. Obviously you can't do that all day long. Here's my problem with the staggered thing. We have 3 kids that are 10, 8, and 6. So we're going to have a 1st grader, a 3rd grader, and a
say when you say that? Oh my God, tell that to all the people that are going to die. And I understand that response. But Tom, you're right. At some point, the kids got to be back in school. It's best for them. And at some point, we got to figure it out.
Well, I'm a big believer in personal opinion here. Now, no science behind this. I believe way more people have had this than realize. I think it's through the roof compared to what's actually in the numbers. Because this thing was spreading here since late fall. I believe my wife had it actually. And I believe I've heard from many, many other people who think they've had it.
248-539-9797 if you want to hit on it. Do you believe the schools are going to open? More importantly, if you're a parent or a teacher, you done with it. 97 on the ticket.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket. Breaking news powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by Pennzoil. More oils from natural gas. The proof is in the Pennzoil. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. The Radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning. We are brought to you by Jeff Glover and Associates. ESPN reporting there is a growing consensus among college football executives that the sport may be moved to spring in 2021. In fact, after saying they would only play conference games this year, Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren acknowledged there may not even be a college football season in the Big Ten. NFL, the NFLPA continue to negotiate clauses for at-risk players and conditional stipends if a player should elect to sit out this season. Cleveland Browns and elite pass rusher Myles Garrett finalizing a 5-year, $125 million extension. He had 10 sacks in just 10 games a year ago. Meanwhile, the Detroit Tigers continue preparation for their season opener July 24th in Cincinnati. Inter-squad games at Comerica Park. Tonight's game will be at 6:40. Locally, Yasiel Puig, of course, made his mark with the Dodgers. He has agreed to a deal with the Atlanta Braves. At the Ticket Update desk, I'm Jeff Listen for more 97.1 The Ticket at Radio.com.
Jamie L. Stoney. 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning and welcome in to the Jamie and Stoney Show for a Wednesday morning right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Partly sunny skies today. High of 90 degrees. Stoney is vacationing up north, so we are honored, privileged, and it's our great pleasure to bring in, once again, the one and only Jeff Riger. Riger and I haven't worked together in months.
Well, Jim,
I don't remember last time we worked together.
I don't either.
I don't, but I appreciate you saying that.
No, you look fabulous, Heather. You look great. I must say, Jamie, you were off the last couple of days, so I filled in for you. And I always love your beautiful intros. I mean, they really warm my heart. But now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't give Tom. Tom was in your place or Stoney's place, and now I feel off.
Nah, I say it was more Tom's job to introduce you. Because again, you're, well, I mean, he's kind of part of the show normally. So, I mean, I think some part of it. How you doing, buddy? I mean, literally, we haven't talked in months. I don't believe.
I don't think so. Where you been? I mean, you don't pick up the phone. You don't write.
You don't
You
call.
don't text. Oh, that's a good point. It does go with
That's a good point.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yes.
Yeah. Still
getting
getting that haircut, huh?
Yeah, you know what? Maybe today. I will say
Is that
this.
right?
I mean, I don't know. You can wear these days or shave it. I'm kind of impressed by the growth. Like if you guys
I am
can
too.
see. Yeah, I mean, I like kind of picking with it. It's nice. You know? It is. I get a lot of
You
in the
don't
back.
get it.
I'm always twirling. I feel like a woman.
You don't, I want to choose the right word here so as not to offend.
Of
You
course
don't
not.
particularly style it.
No. It just kind of flops where it is.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my youth, like when I used to have longer hair. So it's a little nostalgic, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's because I mentioned this to you on Facebook last week. You've been doing the daddy daycare all pandemic long with your Seriously, it was like a highlight of. It was like a way of kind of lightening the mood a little bit with everything that was going on. I mean, she must have loved it, right?
She did. She did. It was fun. Every day
Yeah.
we did something different, and I took a video.
Yeah.
Although she did get sick of the videos, but last week I want to say the
She did?
I think it was. Yeah. She got a little hair and then she started yelling at you. So some of the videos you had to do when she wasn't realizing you were doing it. Yes, incognito. But we sent her back to daycare for at least 3 days a week. So I stopped with Daddy Daycare, and it was nice, but at the same time it was sad.
It was
So
sad.
we made it through 113 days.
I think what I like about you, Rieger, is that, and I mean this sincerely, for a lot of moms and dads out there, the kid is like a prop, right? They have a kid because they're supposed to have a kid, or they have 2 kids because they're supposed to have kids. You seem to truly, truly love being a dad.
It's fun, yes.
Yeah,
It's fun, yeah. Don't you?
yeah. I love it. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there are times.
My kids are
There was
teenagers
crying.
now, so it's less fun. And in some ways it's more fun, but yeah.
See,
Is Olive still mad?
I'm conflicted sometimes. Sometimes she
Yeah.
will. So Alice 4.5, I'm conflicted because some days I think to myself, oh, Jamie's got the life. Because here's my theory. You have kids younger and you're in your 40s, so you're almost getting your life back, right? You can pretty much do whatever you want, and the kids do whatever they want. But at the same time, you don't get the fun of cuddling with the kids anymore, falling asleep next to the kids, or showing the kids something for the first time.
Yeah.
So I am conflicted. While I want her to grow at the same time, I'm going to miss cuddling with her.
Can I tell you a very depressing factoid?
There we go.
My kids come in to say goodnight to me, not the other way around.
They put you
It's
to
like
sleep.
they put me down, read me a book, and then they have free time. You know, it's like I always used to relish that free time after the kids would go to sleep because then you'd have like an hour or two to watch TV or catch up on stuff or something like that. Now it's like they're up till all hours, and I got to get up early for this. That ain't happening. Not happening. So,
I kind of
let's talk about
closer in the age she is.
you do? Yeah. You'll get that. You'll get that, and then you'll have another age where you'll need a freezer, and then another age where you're going to freezer. So, and then you'll get the age where you don't want a freezer. You want to just keep on cooking, right? So let's talk about your golf game.
Oh, this is all about me. First segment, all about me. Go ahead. What else you did?
You played golf with Leach yesterday.
Leach
And
last
the only reason I know that is
right
because
there.
Leach posted it on social media.
Whoa,
I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Whoa. Leach posted something on social media?
Yeah, I know. It's very odd. It's very odd.
Yeah. How strange is that?
Yeah. When was the last time you beat Leach in golf?
The last time we played, other than yesterday. In
Oh, is
fact,
that right?
I had a pretty good run against Leach. Yesterday wasn't very good. I mean, the bottom line is, hit some bad shots. That's all. So Leach beat me. We were doing 25 aside, right? First 9 down, last night. And I was actually up on the first 9, and he came back. And then I fell apart in the back 9. And it got to, you know, golf. It got to the point where I hit a tee shot. I thought it was good. It was a par 3, went into the water. So I just yelled out at a country club manager. Lessons doing updates, he can confirm. I yelled out, effing mess, as loud as I possibly could. Like at the top of my lungs. Of course I felt guilty about it afterwards. But it was kids' day at the country club too. I don't think the kids heard me. But I was able to rally at that point. McCarty put his arm around me, said, "It's going to be okay, kid." It was against Stanley Cups. And
Inspirational, yeah.
I was down 3 holes with 4 to play. I came all the way back to Ty Leach. He was totally choking, and then I was
Buddy. See, my perception, and this is totally unfair, from just following along casually on social media and hearing you tell stories about it on the air, is that you've never won.
I won a couple times. I have.
I feel like whenever I hear the story, it's always Rieger this, Rieger that. I saw yesterday that Carson Anderson, you know, they're like, oh, I'll take Leach. It's like, you know, they just pick on you, man.
You know what? I saw that. I was actually going to put Del Taco for the match.
Del Taco?
Oh, it's delicious. I saw but I saw Gator's comment, and it motivated me. And I said to myself, "You got this. Gonna make Gators eat his words."
He almost did. He almost did. All right.
I like Jamie. I like home Jamie. He's very.
Do you?
Yeah. You're laid back. You're inspirational. Heather, Greg, I see why you like working with this guy.
But I just said you never win in golf, and
Yeah, but you said it nicely.
oh, I did say it nice. I did say it nice.
Yeah.
So last night I was flipping around, and by the way, flipping around sucks now, doesn't it?
Oh,
I know Heather can't flip around because she doesn't have cable. Neither does Greg. But
I
it's
don't
like
even flip
there's
around.
There's never anything on ever. But last night on Fox Sports Detroit, and they have really gone to the bottom of the barrel now with these classic sport events. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they show. Well, actually, I do know why they show this. Because Jack Moore started, but they showed the 1981 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember that one?
I mean, I guess.
It was the baseball strike, and they came back from the strike, and they started the second half with the All-Star Game in Cleveland. The reason why I bring this up is because I happened to tune in right, and I mean right, as they were introducing all the players for both teams, and I couldn't have tuned in at a better time. It was awesome, and it got me to thinking there should be a channel, and I think you and I should put this on, that all it shows is All-Star Game introductions. Because think about it, you get a total flavor for who's, I mean, like last night, Reggie Jackson, Dave Winfield, George Brett, the usuals. But then you get totally random guys who probably made one All-Star game the entire careers, like Ken Forsch and Tom Paciorek,
Yes.
And then you get a real good glimpse of the uniforms too, because Carlton Fisk was wearing that the full white pajama look that the White Sox used to have. Remember that?
I do, yes.
Do you like this idea or not? Or do you think it's a terrible idea?
I think you have to add to it. I think you need more than all-star lineups. I think you could do opening day lineups because there is something great about baseball. You're right, where they line up on the first and third base line.
Yeah.
And then they take a step forward, they tip their cap. So I think you're onto something, but I think you have to maybe that could be the prime time 8 o'clock and morning viewing, I feel. And then you could filter in other sports for the lesser popular day parts.
You could do the NBA All-Star lineup announcements.
You could do that. NHL, yeah.
Because there's always some random dude who made the All-Star team for the only time in his career, and he's out there with whoever the greats are at the time.
The greatest of the greats, yes.
And then occasionally you'll get a Robert Fick or a Brandon Inge or a Todd Jones who has to make it from a certain team because that's just the rules, right?
Which, by the way, I love and I hate. I used to love it back in the day, we get an all-star. And now it's kind of we don't deserve an all-star.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Rieger's in for Stoney. Coming up on the show, we're going to talk to Woj at 9:18. A little bit early today because we're also going to talk to Kenny, the Jet Smith.
That's sweet.
And I got to admit, I don't know, is he in the bubble or not?
I think he's going to be. I'm not sure. I know Ernie's not going to be. Maybe they're not.
Ernie's had all sorts of health issues,
Yeah, and his child
his son,
as well. Yeah, I don't know. Is Charles going to be in the bubble?
Charles needs to be in the bubble.
Can we ask Kenny about Charles' golf game? Is it really that bad?
Sure,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
interested in. Yeah.
Any question is on the table. All right, Heather's got news coming up next. Heather, what's up?
Well, you guys, I've got a little bit of some serious news and some not so serious news. So I'm going to start with a mask confrontation that turned deadly, which is the serious news. And then I'm going to switch the mood and I'm going to tell you how you can up your online dating game.
Oh, Rieger. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
97 won the ticket.
97 won the ticket.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. No recorded incidents on your drive this morning. Pretty quiet commute in and out of downtown as well. Now, a left lane closure is scheduled today for 94 eastbound from 23 Mile to County Line Road as part of construction until 4 o'clock. For same-day service of your air conditioning or plumbing, call Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. 37 years in the business. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 800-924-2123. Mastercraft Heating, MasterCraftHeating.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
I'm with Applied Imaging customer Jane Cebulski of Hinton Transportation Investments. Applied Imaging helped you through the work at home directives?
Well, the paperless initiative through OnBase that Applied Imaging helped us get up and running allowed us to seamlessly transfer the accounting department to work remotely versus in the office.
OnBase, Applied Imaging's document management solution.
It's allowed our staff to reduce the labor and time they spend on menial tasks. It's reduced the cost of our paper, ink, forms, printers.
Your Applied Imaging partnership has been very positive.
Our experience with Applied Imaging has been phenomenal. Any work they've done for us has been completed correctly. It has saved us countless man hours, and we've made good friends along the way.
Need solutions? Call Applied Imaging today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedimaging.com.
Beaumont doctors and caregivers continue to lead the way through the COVID-19 crisis, and we are dedicated to keeping you safe in our care. We're taking extra steps to protect the health and safety of all our patients and caregivers so you can feel confident coming to Beaumont. Come to us in an emergency. Talk to your doctor to begin scheduling necessary screenings and procedures. Our expert Beaumont doctors and caregivers are here to help you. See how we're keeping you safe at beaumont.org/safe.
Gear up for all your favorite teams and sports with Radio.com. The biggest sports stations in America talk about the NFL, MLB, NHL, and NBA. Get updates on when games will start and how your team stacks up. Find Jim Rome, Tiki and Tierney, and more of the top personalities in sports on CBS Sports Radio. And you'll love Radio.com sports originals like Mike's On with Francesa, Swings and Misses, and You Better You Bet with the best bets on the biggest matchups every weekday. Gear up with all the shows and podcasts on Radio.com or the Radio.com app.
Making popcorn for movie night? Well, for you. This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch. Make you buy a new phone.
Right.
But TracFone Wireless lets you keep your phone and your number and your network and gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month.
Seriously, who are you?
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Oh, you're burning it. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
It's the perfect time for a powerful business refresh during Dell Technologies Cyber Savings Event. It starts now with up to 50% off high-performance Windows 10 business laptops, desktops, and servers, plus top brand electronics. It's also your chance to streamline IT and simplify PC life cycles with PC as a service. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 10 Pro for business. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing the wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Imagine a coffee cup. It may seem small, but it comes from a small business. One of thousands on eBay, powered by millions of people, all working to give you exactly what you want. That's no small thing. That's everything. Get your thing on eBay.
Get a John Deere 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at Tri-County Equipment today. Visit one of their 10 locations in Bad Axe, Birch Run, Merton, Garrow, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlin, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or online at buytricounty.com.
Let your voice be heard. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio operator at 248-539-9797. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. The names you trust, the teams you love.
All right, it is 6:19. I mentioned the weather already today. Should be a really nice day. Hot. The heat returns. High of 90 degrees. Time for news with Heather Park. What's up, Heather?
Hey, you guys. Welcome back, Jamie. It's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, so listen to this. So a mask confrontation at a Lansing area convenience store led to a stabbing and a fatal shooting Tuesday morning. So So according to police, a man walked into a Quality Dairy, wasn't wearing a mask. He was told he needed to wear a mask. He was refused service. He got into this argument with another man, another customer in the store. And during this argument, the man who walked in without a mask pulled a knife and stabbed the other customer and then fled the scene, ran from the store. Just shortly after that, the man was pulled over, and instead of remaining in his car like you do when you are pulled over, he got out of his car and approached the officer with a knife. From there, the officer actually shot at the man, and he later died from his injuries. The man who was stabbed was taken to the hospital. At this point, I'm not exactly sure on his condition. And the deputy who shot the man was placed on administrative leave, and there is an investigation.
I'm trying to think of what somebody could do to me to make me so angry that I would try to stab them. It certainly would not involve telling me to wear a mask.
No,
You know?
not at all.
No, I mean, I would happily wear a mask. I do wear a mask. Not currently wearing a mask, but I did it in my own house. But I just, the heated hatred, anger over the stupid mask is borderline unbelievable to me.
It is. It's when I saw the story, I didn't read it right away, but I got the news alert on my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I knew there was going to be issues with this new required law, mask wearing order, just because there's already been so many issues before. So I knew there was going to be things that happened, but I was just shocked to hear that there was a fatal shooting because of the mask.
But it seems like it's escalating. I mean, weeks ago we saw in Florida, California, wherever, the Karens, right? That we speak of often.
Yes.
And that was just like, you know, hey, wear a mask. And then next thing you know, obscenities are being heard. And now it's really up. I mean, you talked about yesterday the guy in fire that brandished a knife when he was asked to wear a mask and all this.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. You guys, non-essential travel between the U.S. and Canada is expected to remain closed until at least late August. So sources say that a new agreement would extend the closure by another 30 days, which would bring it to August 21st. So if you have travel plans, you might need to make new plans because you might not be able to get to Canada if that was your plan at all. Now, the decision to extend the restrictions at the border comes as more than half of the U.S. states have actually either paused or rolled back the reopening plans, and confirmed cases in the U.S. are getting closer to 3.5 million.
So, Rieger, explain to me, how is Tigers Blue Jays essential travel?
You know, it's baseball and it's a great distraction for us all. Have you heard about the Blue Jays, though? Have you heard what they're doing? If you're caught outside of the Rogers Center Marriott, where they have to stay at home, or on the road, if you're caught outside the hotel, Blue Jays players get $750,000 fines. See, they take it seriously.
750,000?
Almost $1 million. That's
That's like, that's more than a lot of guys make.
You got to follow the rules. But, you know, there is a difference between Canada and us. Right now,
where are the Tigers staying? Are they staying at home? At their homes?
I don't know. I mean, I think right now I think they are, yes. Although I'm sure some are staying in hotels.
1 week from today, buddy, we have scrimmages.
And you know, 2 weeks, actually less than 2 weeks, we have actual baseball. It's going to happen.
It's next week.
I'm so excited. Because, you know, if they have been successful, I do, yeah. I do. Too much money on the line not to. At least to start it, and then hopefully we let go.
Heather, have they contacted you yet?
Yes!
They finally did?
So yes, I do know kind of how they plan on handling games, at least right in the beginning. There probably won't be any in-game hosts, that's for sure, and not that many staff at the park, but they will have kind of like a full scoreboard show. I mean, without the actual, you know, between inning fan giveaways, because they're going to make it as real of a game for the players as they can. There'll be a PA announcer there. I mean, it will feel like a game as much as it can to the players. And then hopefully, if any of the restrictions are lifted or the cases decrease in Michigan, we can start rolling in a few new rules, maybe some live streaming things like that I would love to get my hands on if possible. So we'll see. At this point, I'm just going to be a fan from home, and that's going to be good enough.
There's going to be a PA announcer?
It sounds like it, yeah. I think they want to make it as realistic to the players as it can be without fans. Yeah.
Batting third.
Yes. I mean, wouldn't it be weird not to have a PA announcer, though? Like, okay, I mean, it would just feel like a backyard game, kind of. It is weird not to have fans, but I think it would feel, I don't know, to have an official game without an announcer just would feel really, really weird.
So let me ask you the question that Stoney asks you about once a week. Have they ever hired a new announcer, a PA announcer?
I actually don't know that answer. I'm sure they have. Yes. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure they have.
All right.
So in Michigan, you guys, health officials confirmed 6 coronavirus-related deaths on Tuesday and 584 new cases. So since the outbreak began in Michigan, we now have exceeded 70,000 cases. But what's crazy is when you hear this number, 584, you're like, that's not so bad. When you look at what's going on in Florida or, other southern states, it doesn't sound so bad. But they do say that, infections are still on the rise here in Michigan, and the state recorded a 7-week high of new cases last week. But more good news is that hospitalizations due to the coronavirus are very, very low. And that's good. That's very good, which is what we need. We don't want our hospitals, packed with patients suffering from the coronavirus.
No, because in other cities in America, they are getting overwhelmed.
Yes.
Like Houston.
Yes, they are. So the creators of Glee just announced that they are going to launch a college fund for Naya Rivera's 4-year-old son. We've been talking about this story off and on. It's such a heartbreaking story. It was confirmed that they found her body, and they believe that this was just a really, really, really unfortunate accident. There was no signs of foul play, no signs of a possible suicide. They say most likely she had helped her son get onto that boat as it was drifting away. She struggled herself and unfortunately didn't make it on the boat. And it's so heartbreaking.
It really is. And did you watch Glee when it was on?
Here and there. I wasn't into the show, but I've definitely seen it.
Because there's like a curse, right?
Yes, I've heard.
There is.
Well, you had that Corey, I don't know his last name.
Corey Monteith.
Yes.
And then another guy was involved in like child porn and was in jail.
Oh my gosh.
He killed himself. Yeah. Tuckerman. And then
it's more lethal than the Madden curse. No, this is the saddest story ever, though. My wife followed that story so closely, and she died a hero, obviously. But it's every parent's nightmare.
And there was times because it took so long for them to find her body that there was enough time to think, oh my gosh, maybe she made it to shore, because they were going to start searching these cabins, and you're like, maybe, just maybe, she was able to swim to safety. You don't ever want to lose hope on a situation. So, when there's 5 days in between finding her body, you do want to pray that she made it. But it's